Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. Today we got before us the Cold Steel Peacemaker Mark III. So I'm going to give away the beginning of the end of this knife is that I'm not very impressed with it. And I'm going to tell you why as we go through this. I was going to do a field test on it, but after pulling it out of the box, I don't think the usability is really there and the quality is really there for 90% of you out there. I was going to do a field test, like I said, but I pulled it out of the box and out of the sheath, and I was like, yeah, not going to happen. So we're just going to do a very basic tabletop because I got so many other knives I got to try and test out, gear, guns, all sorts of stuff that I'm trying to look at and test out for you guys out there so you can make wise purchasing choices. And I just don't have the time to review something that I don't think is very good quality, so I'm going to hopefully help you steer away from the Peacemaker Mark III. Give you basic specs first, and I'll tell you what doesn't really impress me about this blade. We got a blade length of 4 inches, made out of 4116 German-made stainless steel, full tang construction with a polymer handle, warm to the touch, Secure X sheath, weighs in at 3.4 ounces, has a Scandi grind. Those are the basic specs for you, and we'll go ahead and jump on into this item. So what you got is basically a boot knife. It's a very cheap budget boot knife is what you're purchasing, and that's really all that it's good for, is self-defense in my opinion, and some light utility tasks. This is not really a good wilderness blade, hunting blade, or any other type of blade in my opinion, or usefulness other than defending your life, self-defense, and maybe some light utility like cutting some rope or nylon cord or a seatbelt. Other than that, I would never really use this blade. It does come with a Scandi grind, which some of you bushcrafters might like, which is nice. It comes razor sharp like we would know from Cold Steel out of the box, satin finish. 2 separate types of grinds on here, and Scandi grind, for those of you who don't know, means that there's no secondary bevel along the edge here. It's just right here where it kicks down and starts to go towards the edge. That is the entire edge. There's no secondary bevel. So you got kind of a saber grind back here and then a full flat grind over here. Very interesting. I think they were trying to make it so it would stab well and then give you a little bit extra strength through the tang of the knife is I believe what they were going for. Clip point design, great, blade geometry, great blade design, nice, about 1/8 of an inch thick. So that is nice. The stainless steel is good because it won't rust, but it's a soft steel. I like it a little bit better than 440A because it's easier to sharpen than 440A, but it's going to dull pretty quick on you. It is a budget. You're going to pay between $20 and $25 for the Peacemaker Mark III. Like we've talked about, Cold Steel produced this with a full tang. You can see the tang back there through the lanyard hole, so that's nice. And then you do have that warm, warm to the touch, Kraton type of material. It's not Kraton, it's just a polymer type of rubber, but it does feel good in your hand. I wear large size gloves, so it does fit really well. You got a nice finger guard here and guard up here, so again with that kind of boot knife self-defense roll, you're locked into place well. My pinky's not really wanting to come off. It does give you that lanyard hole, so that's nice. But you can see here, see if I can show you. If I just pull back, I'm pulling the rubber away from the tang, and you can see the tang down in there exposed. So, over time, I could see this kind of loosening up a little bit, but it does give you some good traction on the knife overall. And how light it is a big plus too. It's really lightweight, at under 4 ounces. That's a really nice lightweight blade. The sheath right here is their Secure X line of sheaths. So again, this is kind of designed to be a boot knife. Pretty thin, it could fit inside a tall, military boot or, cowboy boot or something like that. Really nice, strong clip. Very, very strong, but it is too short for my belt. So my belt kind of goes past that little hump right here. So it doesn't really hold very well on my belt. So it is really designed only for your boot. And it's really thin, flimsy kind of plastic. Does come with a drainage hole though, so that's a plus. And the knife just kind of slides into place there. You can see kind of a weird design. Clicks in and just kind of holds secure around the guard. Really, loose, rattly. And then you basically would just grab the knife, pull it, and then reposition your hand. And that's the other thing that I don't really care for is that, if you're selling this as a tactical boot knife, you should be able to pull it out real quick without having to adjust your handle grip. But for me to pull this knife out, if I had this in my boot, I would basically have to put my thumb right here. I just have to, there's nowhere to push off of, and these, are nice and, flimsy, pretty cheap. So I kind of got to grab it back here, put my thumb up here, pull the knife, and that's the best I can do. That's where my hand is when I pull the knife out. Then I have to readjust, scoot up, and then do my thrust, regardless if it's in a reverse grip like that. And I mean, it's locked in. I'm good to go for, you know, a tactical reverse stab like that, or like this, stab like this. But I just don't think it's a very tactical sheath setup. So for a boot knife, I know that there are a lot better items on the market, both from Cold Steel and from other companies. I mean, I would take the Gerber Guardian. You know, it's got 420 high carbons, a little bit better steel than the 4116 that you get with this. Costs you probably about $15 more than what you're paying for the Peacemaker, and it has a better sheath as well. So just things to think about, and that's why I'm just not really impressed. Then for some of you, you might be asking, okay, but is it a good, you know, like lightweight, you know, wilderness knife, you know, or game processing knife for hunting or something? I'm going to say no, because again, $20 to $25 is what you're going to pay for this one, and I can get for $18 Swedish-made high carbon steel Mora. 4 inches as well, right around the same weight, wood handle, full tang. You know, you're basically gonna get about the same crappy sheath, but Scandi grind, and a much better wilderness knife for less money, and it's made in Sweden, not Taiwan, and has better high carbon steel that'll hold an edge longer than, say, your stainless steel that you have right here. And then even if you are looking for stainless, you're like, well, okay, but I still, you know, I want a lightweight stainless steel, and I like Cold Steel knives and stuff. Well, then the light Outdoorsman, that Outdoorsman Light would be a great knife. Going to be about the same price. You're going to get 2 more inches. That's 6 inches. Weighs only 2 ounces more, and has the same type of grind. And is just a really, you know, really a lot better for either hunting or wilderness if you do need a stainless steel full tang knife. So the Outdoorsman Light by Cold Steel would be a much better option. So I just don't, guys, I just don't see the need to purchase the Peacemaker Mark III. The Mark II is bigger and is going to weigh a little bit more. I believe the Mark II is 5.5 inches long, but still, guys, just not. I'm not impressed. Not impressed for a boot knife. Not impressed for any other type of use, really, other than that. So you guys make a choice. I would not recommend it here on Gideon's Tactical. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.